The lesson.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you mentioned Kerser, and obviously, yeah, the most amazing thing, I guess, about him as an artist is that he's managed to do what he wants to do and build a career and what appears to be one of the most successful in Oz rap at the moment without, you know, the push of mainstream radio. And I think like the biggest news at the moment is that he announced he's got a new collab joint with Future and Young Buck. Now, when I read that, the first thing I thought was, is that arguably the biggest Australian-US collab in Australian hip-hop history?
It's a good question. It's actually not. I think they're all guests on the track. It's Ghost is in the room. He's a producer. I have worked with him before. It's his track, and they're all guests on it. But yeah, obviously still a Australia-US collabo. As far as it's the biggest, I don't know, man. We've had some pretty big ones. We had Bliss and Esso with Nas. Had Pharaoh Monch and Hoods and all that. There's been some big ones. As far as like current artists, pretty big, man. It's pretty big.
Future, man. Like when Bliss and Esso collabed with Nas, Nas wasn't at the peak of his career.
But he's still a legend, though.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I listen to Nas more than Future. But if you're sort of talking like current, Kerser's like currently one of the most poppin' in Oz.
It's crazy, man. Like, I remember I used to... Because it wasn't that many Australia-US collabos back in the day. I remember when, like, Self-Titled was on... with Lyrical Commission on Turntable Jedi.
See, and that's dope. See, I love that shit.
Yeah. But that was like, I was like, whoa, man, Self-Titled was on like, and I remember Chino XL was on Nodfather as well. And I was like, because I was a pretty big Chino XL fan when I was a teenager, I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy. But now it's like next level. It's like, you know, like current, like massive artists. It's pretty interesting, man. Whether it's the biggest, I don't know. What are we measuring on? It probably is. It's probably pretty close.
I guess when I ask the question, I'm measuring it on just popularity and hype and just wow factor. You know, like when I seen it, I was just like, and Young Buck, who is OG unit.
It's a jaw-dropping thing to see, hey. Like when I first saw it as well, I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, it's big, man. It's good.
The lesson.
Oh, yeah.